Break the 3D illusion. Be source of your dream life. I am your host Reese. This is Real Reality with yours truly. And on today's video, I'm just gonna go through these questions a client and a commenter presented because they're kind of similar in a sense, and I'm just gonna break it down from what the core idea of the issue was or is. Now, I'm in a situation I don't like. I know I am awareness, but how can I shift from what I don't want to what I do want when the resistance feels so strong? Not limited to only resistance, it's also thoughts and feelings and your conscious awareness of the actual circumstance itself. Because you say you take your mind off the circumstances and put them on, but if you keep coming back to the circumstance and it's there, how does this work? It's a good question because it gets to the heart of what that means. So let's start here. You, as awareness, are not actually in the situation. If you ever played a game, your character might be in a situation and the character has 1,000 saved games in that sense. Or if you watch an actor on screen, they have different roles, and when they are sitting and watching the movie, they're not actually the character in the movie. They're still the actor, right? Same with you playing a game or watching or reading a book. You are never the character in the book, but even if you identify with the main character sometimes while reading said book. So your physical self, because you are projecting a physical self, the one experiencing the physical reality, you wouldn't be able to experience physical reality without some sort of one-to-one manifested anchor alongside what it's anchored in. But the anchor isn't separate from it. Just like how everything in 3D reality is not just like 3D reality and you, every single thing in 3D reality is perfectly separate from everything else. There's no two things that are connected, in the sense that those two things are connected and nothing else is. Everything is connected, and that's why everything is seemingly completely separate from itself. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to experience it. And that's what reality is doing. Reality is experiencing itself as reality, but it has to have complete separation in the 3D experiencing of it, and complete knowing that it's not separate from anything that it's seeing because it's being it. And it's all happening inside you. You are awareness. So awareness is the substance that literally creates every single thing that you're looking at. From a 3D understanding, it's everything you're looking at is the same energy. If you were to go into it and really see the makeup of it, it's all the same energy. Because it's all the same knowing, it's all the same awareness, but it comes from awareness first. So you are not aware of something. As in, your physical self is seeing this, and okay, now I'm aware of the pen. That's what we think awareness is. That's not it. You are the awareness itself as the something being aware of it. You are the awareness itself as the something being aware of it. Now, you are the awareness itself as the something being aware of it. It as in the experience of reality itself. So I'm not my physical self being aware I'm holding a pen. I am the awareness being aware of the physical reality anchored as my physical self, creating my physical self holding the pen. Let's say it again, okay? And it's easier to see in imagination, so you can see it in imagination after I say it. You are not the physical self being aware of a pen. You are awareness creating simultaneously everything in our physical focused viewpoint of reality, where one of the physical manifestations is me in this moment holding the pen, which is another physical manifestation, and the rest of reality, which is another physical manifestation, at the same time, without distance or gap between any of it, seemingly having a distance and gap between everything. So I am the awareness of the reality where Reese is holding a pen. So I am the awareness that is aware of something. That something is itself, because the only thing that exists is that same awareness. So in your imagination, when you start to know an idea, that knowing gives rise to the idea from itself. There's nothing else. You aren't pulling it from hidden compartments in your imagination. Your imagination becomes it. That's how you are your imagination. Now, you don't have focus. Your 3D physical self doesn't have focus. You say, sometimes I have like focus and I can't focus, and my attention goes from here, then it goes to there, then it goes to here. That's just a story. It's because you as awareness don't know that you can just simply be aware of what it is you're choosing to be aware of. So you're creating the idea, you don't have focus, or you can't focus on that idea because you can't see it, or however you want to phrase that. That you are focus. You are focus itself. If the idea of focusing was conscious, that is what you are. Focusing, that is conscious. You don't have consciousness, you are consciousness. You are consciousness of being, you are aware of being consciousness, and you are conscious of being awareness. Same thing. When you move your attention, it's not your physical attention that is chasing something that exists out there. It's not that. It is your attention as awareness itself. So when you're saying, I'm moving my attention to an entirely new idea, and I'm embodying that idea, that is it. That's focusing it. You are embodying a whole new idea, and a whole new idea means a whole new world being it. If I were to imagine myself right now, not just think about my physical self holding a black pen, but know as awareness creating the idea of a version of me holding a black pen. That is what I am doing right now as awareness, projecting that story. And at some point, in the unfolding from right now, I'll be holding a black pen. But I'm not going to go do that, because then that defeats the purpose of the teaching. Now, you are not creating anything from scratch. You are creating from your knowing of what is already there. So you are creating the experience, like giving birth to what you become aware of, essentially. And say it is a kind of a birthing, because there is an unfolding process to whatever it is you are being aware of, but that unfolding starts now. It doesn't just unfold forward, it unfolded your life entirely backwards as well. So you're always changing your past. That's why the past doesn't actually exist. It's always in some sort of flux according to who and what you say you are. Typically, we recreate it because we don't know any better, and we end up remembering something we don't like over and over and over again. So you don't necessarily manifest anything in reality. You are reality, and manifestation simply refers to something that is you are unaware of previously and have now become aware of. Now, you believe in that 3D figure. You're depressed, you're angry, you're upset, someone's shouting at you, and then you're wondering from within the frame, how can I manifest my dream life when this guy is shouting at me? And you think about a past and you think about a possible future. But what's really going on is that every moment you believe in this 3D experience, you move to versions that are very similar to it. So it's not the same every day, but it is the same idea every day, but a different version of that same idea every single day. And why is that? Because these frames will always come from you as awareness, and who and what you are focused on being. And if you're focused on being the 3D figure, that's what your awareness is going to output. So whether you believe you are the 3D or awareness, it's always coming from awareness anyway, first and foremost, no matter what. Now, feeling resistance, there's a few reasons as to why, but in general case, it is the identification with the 3D version of yourself, or the idea that I am not, because that's what typically the 3D appearance is. The 3D version of you is always going to believe it is not something, because that 3D version of you, correct as it is not something. The 3D version of you sitting is not a 3D version of you running. It's a completely separate identity. Even if you believe it's the same version, it's not. It's the same. It's a different version that you are unfolding into and as. You have infinite versions of you, not just infinite identities. Even a version of you in the same place doing the same thing, those are different identities. They're all different. Each one is a different version of you entirely, because you are brand new in every moment, experiencing another entirely brand new part of your own awareness. So the body, the story, the circumstances, all of its manifestation from your awareness. You are creating the idea of a brain. You are creating the idea of a physical body, and you are creating the idea that your physical body wants to do things, or it has this idea of free will and choice. But it's the manifestation of awareness that has the free will and is choosing. You are that awareness simultaneously experiencing yourself as a 3D figure. Now, when you feel that resistance, let it be there. Feel it fully. It's not going to do anything. You've had it so many times that you don't even know what to do with it, because there's nothing to do with it. Just let it pass. It goes away eventually. It has to. It has no energy on its own. No matter how powerful it feels, it was your own power that was being the identity you no longer want to be, and you are feeling the resistance of that change from who and what you choose to be aware of now. So that's how powerful you are. You're feeling your own power in any case, right? That's why you feel so stuck, because the only thing that can prevent you from something is actually you. But now you aren't preventing yourself from anything. You're just feeling who you used to be. So it's not a sign you're doing anything wrong. It's simply awareness letting go of the illusion that you were the 3D figure. Then, from the stillness, imagine your desired reality. Imagine as your desired reality. Imagine in that knowing that you are creating everything in it, in your preference. Not trying to make somebody speak better. Not trying to make somebody speak kinder towards you. Is what I meant, actually. Not that. Not trying to make yourself earn more money. However we do this. Imagine having it already as the normal part of your life, because there's a version of you for who and through who it is normal, and your awareness is the creation of it. It's already existing, it's already there. Not to get it, just to be aware of it, just to be aware of your choice, just to experience your choice right now. It's already done, it's already your choice. You already know what your choice is. Identify with your choice and experience it and be aware of it, and assume because it's your choice, it's what's unfolding. Because your awareness of something is its existence. If you can be aware of it, it must already exist. You can't be aware of non-existence because it doesn't exist. Not to be confused with the physical appearance or non-appearance of something. Just because something is not physically there does not mean it doesn't exist. If you can't, or you will never be aware of something that doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. But if you can be aware of it, even if you can't physically see it, it exists on some plane of existence, and that plane exists within you. So this 3D you that's sitting there doesn't manifest anything. It doesn't even exist in an objective sense, because it's only one tiny iteration of a whole reality framework that exists within you just to tell a story. It doesn't exist outside of itself. The sad version of you is changing. It's a different version each time. So you were never that version you're remembering when you were sad. You're recreating a sad version again. But don't worry, those thoughts that pop up about that's not recreating it. It's just remembering, hey, there is a version of you that's like this. So you can drop the illusion of being them and know that you are the knower of reality. You know things into being. And this is the question that somebody popped into the chat and to the comment section, which was, how can I be aware of something that isn't in my physical reality? Like I said, awareness of something is its existence. The physical object is not the evidence of its existence. It's your awareness being aware and just momentarily creating the physical experiencing of the physical object. Plenty of objects stop existing in the physical world, but you're still aware of them having existed. After a firework blows up, it's gone. But you are aware of having had a firework in your hand. And you can feel that again. Because it exists somewhere in some plane of existence. It's not gone out of existence. It may have passed through you as awareness. You pass that idea through yourself as awareness. And that version of that idea is gone, but you can recreate that similar experience over and over again. Because physical reality is only one tiny fraction of existence. A snapshot of what your awareness is being now at 0.01% versus the 99.99% of infinity. Infinity is quite large. And your imagination, your remembrance, your knowing, that's all awareness. You can remember holding an object that's no longer in your hand, firework, and know that even though it's gone out of the physical reality, it still exists as an idea, as potential, as concept, as beingness. That remember, you've all had lunch at some point. Where's that lunch? The remembrance is awareness, creating of itself a version of reality experience. Same with the dream life. If you can know it, feel it, and be aware of it, then it already exists in awareness. By the way, I do like using those very mundane examples because reality is already showing you that even though something does not exist in your physical reality, your awareness of it is the evidence of it existing. So whether it is past or future, your awareness of it exists. And past and future from a 3D sense. And past and future here, you're holding a clock or something or other, right? Whether you are physically or remembering it, it just exists. And that future with the world in the palm of your hands, that also exists as whatever your imaginal scene with you holding the world in your hands represents. No, you're not going to be holding the whole planet in your hands. That's not impossible. That's not a 3D experience you can have in a literal sense. Because I know someone's going to ask me, well, I can't hold the planet in my hands. You kind of can. Let's do that. Right? You are not the 3D figure. You are recreating a version of it as you are remembering it as awareness. Since you are recreating the past, brand new, you can recreate the future because it's the same awareness as you that is calling that idea into your awareness for your experiencing of it. As awareness, what you focus on can and has to exist right now and is experiencing one at a time in essence. You have this linear 3-dimensional experience of time and space. So when you say, I am rich or I am anything, right? You are not using these words to convince reality to make that decision for you. You must realize that you are reality making a decision as to who you are. There's no one else in reality. There's expressions of infinite free will from a 3D perspective. But you are awareness. You are being aware of a version of reality where all of those 3D figures exist in relation to you infinitely, depending on who you say you are. So when you say I am rich, then people in that reality, the same physical people that you are normally associated with, they see you as rich. That version of you is rich and they see you as that. They already exist there. So does that physical you who is rich there in that reality. I am poor. The people that you associate with will treat you and see you, and your physical self will have no money and you'll experience that. Those are separate versions of them and you. But the thing that links everything is you as awareness, because you are declaring what you are as awareness is knowing right now. You are declaring what you are as awareness, and you are knowing it right now. Right? Thoughts and feelings are just the advertisements, so to speak, that play between your chosen channels. They don't define what's real. They're basically identities that pop up here and there that you just don't prefer, don't have to do anything about. You don't have to literally do nothing with it. And the only thing that's real is you and your knowing as awareness. That you are not the body trying to change reality. The body cannot change reality. It's experiencing the change of reality as part of the changing reality. Your body is one with reality. It's changing as it changes. You are the source creating the body, the mind, the experience, and everything else. So when you stop fighting what appears in 3D, you return to the knowing as power that you were never not. You are as awareness. Now here's this little diagram happening with the affirmation. Just kind of going from left to right here, right? Explaining how it flows out from awareness in one go. You are that. I have it as a golden light just to represent it, but it's a formless, non-local nothingness that's infinitely intelligent. It has to be a formless, non-local nothingness in order for its form to take on anything it can perceive itself. It has to be completely nothing in order for it to manifest itself as anything. Because if it was something, it wouldn't be able to be something else. So it has to truly be nothing to be something. I just have it as light there so we can see. And as that lightness, you consciously think the idea of who and what you desire to experience yourself as. I am rich. You know the idea of I am rich. And you heard yourself say the affirmation in your mind, awareness, right? I am rich. But it was the knowing that called it first. Your knowing called that affirmation first. You knew it into being. You didn't think the whole sentence and then say it. Your knowing called the entire sentence and you said the experience and you said it as an experience. So think about that very, very succinctly. You don't ever think about the whole thing you're gonna say. You just know what you're saying. It's that knowing that comes first, right? Ask who decided to say that. You did. You as awareness. It's the silent intelligence hearing its own voice in the mirror of awareness. I can't believe I wrote that earlier because I didn't realize how poetic it sounded. Anyway, that your imagination is the same thing. It's the images or the voice or the tactile smelling and touching. Someone said they can't visualize clearly. They can only hear very clearly. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's that knowing of what you decided. Your own conscious awareness of the knowing of what you decided is the imaginational mirror. And that knowing has its own past, its own future, it's brand new, I am rich, a brand new version of you has its past, has a future, all connected. And then it simultaneously is, from within itself, one of the infinite film reels of that version of you that's rich, the one that is just resonating with you. It outputs it into your imagination, as your imagination, and simultaneously is outputting it as your 3D physical experience in one go. It's doing it all together. It's not I imagine and then it starts. No, your imagination and embodying it is the starting of it. It's happening simultaneously everywhere. So immediately from awareness, it starts to rearrange 3D reality for the expression of this truth now, right? For your subjective experience. Brand new 3D you and everything else, regardless of what it looks like. Each moment is a brand new frame from source, you. You see, that past frame, it comes from source. It's just presented as an idea for you, but it's coming from source. Think about it like that. In this now moment, you have an idea of a past. Where's that coming from? No, my brain, I'm remembering. No, it's not. It's coming from you as source, showing yourself a version of the past that you think or believe that is yours. To give you the context of your existence here. But if you think about it, you could have just shunted into this moment right now. And the past can be the past can be a complete illusion, and every memory that you have, fictional, because it is. How would you know it wasn't? Even though it felt so real. But when you're sitting here right now, you say, no, but it feels really real. No, only the immediate past to you feels really real, and some heightened emotional things from your past feel super real. Most of it doesn't. But from right now, you are brand new, and that past is coming from source, outputting it there for your context. There's now moments coming from source, outputting it there for the context. The future that you're considering as well is coming from source, outputting it for the context. There's always going to be a past frame. There's always going to be a future frame that you're having that give context to who and what you are manifested as for your physical reality here and now. All three, I say three, all of it is coming simultaneously from the same place, you as source. For your experiencing, for your context of experiencing it. That's it. That's all. So when you, as source, imagine something, no, it's your knowing of the idea that even brought it into the experiencing in your imagination. That went a lot longer than I thought it was going to go. But quite enjoyed this one. Hope you enjoyed it too. Thank you for the questions. Thank you for the emails. Thank you for the liking, subscribing, sharing, and joining. Thank you for the comments as well. Quite a few funny comments on the channel as well. Thank you for joining the TikTok page. Thank you for joining the Facebook page. Thank you for the love as well. Love and light to each and every one of you. And I will see you all in the next one.